Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Session for October 8th, 2024. So today we decided to work with our eyes as windows to the soul, the gut, especially if you have a leaky gut, if you have a little bit of loose stool, that's under the heading of constipation. So whether you have constipation, loose stool, diarrhea, we're going to work with repairing the colon and basically the epithelial, the cellular lining on the inside of the colon and the outside to make sure that the microbiome, the microbiome remains intact so that that acid doesn't leak through. We want to make sure it's intact. One of the things that is the emotional, uh, let's say, precursor to the body, loosening the stool, or if you're getting solid, is the emotion of fear, right? So the more fear we have, we can contract, we could, really hold on. And when we hold on, there's constipation. Or the fear comes through. There are two ways that are coming up here. One is that we might want to help our fear leave, or the fear is moving out so quickly, the bottom is falling out. Doesn't matter which category you fall under. We're going to work with both. So just put your hand on your belly and we're going to tap that. Already got a burp. So we're just repairing that dynamic. I'm going into the flexors of the hips right now through the groin, over the pubic bone too. So we've got the groin musculature. We're going down the midline of the legs. That's going to be your spleen meridian. Want to get that moving. So women out there who have some menstrual issues or menopausal stuff, this link is for you. It just can really help things move. For the rest of, for men, this can also be just the spleen energy moving, so we get a lot of discharge of whatever needs to leave the body mind. Let's just have that. Now I want to go to the eyes. So someone complained that, they're on the screen too much, whether it's computer screen or whether it's phone. And this person mentioned that there are dopamine receptors in the eyes, and we just traversed from that arena to see what was going on. And we went straight to the limbic brain. And the limbic brain has all this emotional content. We're going to work through fetal life. We're going to work through 3, 4, and 5 months of fetal life. So whatever was going on then, whether it was emotional, whether, life events were going on, whether food was coming in. Some of you might not have anything that was going on in that period, but we all have something, like even if it was mom ate an olive and you didn't like it when it was coming into your body. So it could be that simple. We're going to get that memory to leave. We're going back in time to those 3 months that could evoke some emotional contact from the limbic brain. And we don't know how to deal with that. Like if my mom ate an olive and I didn't like it as a fetus, which I wouldn't know whether I liked it or not, the body would just go, ew, ew, ew. Maybe it just curtailed something and there was an emotional release. And now, I get some emotional content and I need to look at the screen because I want to avoid looking at that. One reason we would avoid looking at that is how we're going to figure it out unless we go to our healer. So that's one good reason, right? So not everything is a woundology, but sometimes we just need someone to observe us. That's why I go to your local body talker for this kind of work, or whoever you go to, anybody who can see something and let them remove it so that you can go off and go, yeah, okay, thank goodness. It's almost like going for a mani-pedi. It's all the same kind of thing. Or your local barber for a nice haircut. Make sure you're doing these things. You should do it at least a month, every month. So, get that going. Oh my God, that feels so good when I think of doing that kind of thing, like a mani-pedi or my barber, or I like to go to the barber. And yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is figure out what is it also the body mind is trying to avoid when we're getting on screen time. So some of us, it could be whatever was going on in fetal life, but it'll also look through, the brain will also look through your lifetime to find out what are some of the things you might be avoiding. It could be, any type of active memory, and it can be very, very minute. It could be something like you drew a picture when you were a little kid, and somebody turn around and go, "What is that? An apple?" And you go, "No, it's a pumpkin," and you feel totally disappointed that they didn't recognize what it is, and then you never draw again. We want to get that stuff out because we take things rather personally, and that doesn't help the brain. And it could be very strongly, very complex, though, the way we're going to avoid things in our lives. One of the things that when there's something difficult to contend with, which there is, we're going to suffer, we're going to have difficulty, we're going to have conflict, that we are on the path to resolving that conflict and making our lives better. Not sitting back and going, "What's wrong with me? How am I going to do it?" It's, no, I know how to do it. I'm going to, well, you might not know how, but you might know one thing. You could go to the person who knows how to do it and just ask the question, "How did you do it?" And they're going to tell you how they did it. Or you can ask for suggestions. You don't even have to talk to anyone. You go online and say, "How do you make a macrame holder for a plant?" And it will show you. There's plenty of places, so we can figure things out. When you're really stuck and you can't, I'm not dismissing, I'm not saying everything is simple. But it is simple, but it's not easy. That's what I mean to say. It's not always easy. So let's allow, you're going to need to volitionally do this, which is allow yourself to have the space to resolve whatever difficulty you have. One of my, I suppose, pet peeves is yeah, but. Yeah, but. Yes, but. And, most of my life and the work I've done was because I heard yeah, but, when I was young, and I went, "I don't want to say yeah, but I don't want to make excuses." But recently I've been noticing, hey, I'm hearing a lot of people say yeah, but. And I thought, oh, I haven't heard that in a really long time. It's kind of been away from my vista. And I think, is there something I'm yeah butting? So this is where you can make sort of a pledge to yourself today that you're not going to yeah but. So Florence Nightingale said, "I never made or gave an excuse. I never accepted or gave an excuse." So that's something you could think about this week. And kind of say, what am I yeah butting? What am I making an excuse for? And what do I just need to do to resolve that? Okay. And I'm not talking about those internal conflicts linked to woundology. When we're wounded, sometimes that's all we can do is say, yeah, but. That's when you need to seek therapy, obviously, or get lots of treatments and do a lot of different work so you can get through that. So it's not that simple. But when it comes to, how to organize your life so that you have enough time to pursue the thing that's going to move you forward in life, you just do it, and ask on the internet, ask the world. If there's something that is so traumatic in you, yeah, please do something practical and seek therapy. There are lots of good therapists in the world. Whether you're going to get a massage, whether you're going to do energy healing, or whether you're going to see a Jungian therapist or whatever, or do all of them, this is up to you. So, by the way, the 3 people, myself and 2 others that are on today, got 2 females and a male. So that's really good energy. It's always good to have 2 witches and 1 warlock. And we're here really holding the space for us to find that no excuses, be able to move on. We've all had our difficulties. We've all had very hard times in life. But despite those hard times, we keep going, and we don't look back and say, well, this happened to me, so blah, blah, blah. Most everyone has had some form of suffering, but historically, we've never been in a better time in life. Never. When I think of the thing I just went through a couple of years ago for 5 or 6 years not being able to walk, and then I get hip surgery. In the past, a lion would have eaten me. I would be gone. I would have been, food. I would have even been chicken food or cat food or something. But no, we're in the most wonderful time in history, especially North Americans, Europeans, Australians, New Zealand. I mean, there's so many places in the world where we have wonderful things. So let's end this session on we're supporting the limbic brain, which is the emotional brain. We're looking at, all right, I need to not make excuses in the world. When I find I can't get out of making excuses, I might be dealing with an internal psychic wound. This session is going to help you with that because it's going to move some of the active memory around there. But sometimes we need to just add some work, like do a lot more sessions, to see a therapist. I mean, there are lots of things that we can do. And remember to seek out people you like to work with and that you think are really good for you. Don't work with people you think are not that you're not really excited about. Let's say. I know we all can't work with Jordan Peterson, which would be nice to go call Jordan Peterson, but we can do our personal work. We want to help the gut brain. We want to help our emotions release. We don't want to be afraid. We want to, sure, we're going to have fear because it's natural to the body, but we want to overcome that fear. I'm going to do things despite my fear. I'm afraid to get on here. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I get nervous. I have fear coming out, but I just do it. I just do it. And I could be, who knows what could happen? People could say I'm an idiot. All right, fine. Just going to have to go, well, that's your opinion, not to take it personally. So, nice gut brain release. Yeah, I think I just did a good release for all of us who are afraid to show our faces in the world. And I don't think it's just online, it's with everyone. So maybe I'm just feeling this massive like relaxation. I could just go to sleep right now. And really connecting to the soul and gratitude. So let's just sit for a few moments in gratitude. You can hold the prayer position and just grateful. Whatever crosses your mind, I'm just going to say, I'm grateful for all the wonderful things on the planet. I'm grateful for nature. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for electricity. I'm grateful for heat. I'm grateful for air conditioning. I'm grateful for my legs. I'm grateful for my computer. Even though my internet's wonky, I'm grateful for my internet. Whatever you can think of. And thank you, everyone, and have a great week.